Now, the fighting rages on, and obviously I have to fast forward through some of it. And they eventually get into a little village, a little small village, and they've taken some buildings. And here we go. They're in these buildings. Back to the book. We were in a mess. The Boche were on the other side of the valley, outnumbered and outgunned us. There was not the slightest hope of reaching the back of the breed line this way, and to stay here on this forward slope was impossible. At this rate, we would all be dead or wounded soon. Somehow I had to get the survivors back up the hill, but it was a near insuperable problem, with the men scattered down among the houses, lawns, and shrubberies, shot at every time they moved. Someone called from the side of the house. As I turned and looked, Private Gregory darted across to throw himself down beside me. Under the dirt and 2 days' scrub of beard, his face was grayish white. He seemed about to vomit. As Gregory stammered out his platoon commander's name, I knew what had happened. Lieutenant Tyler was dead. It must have happened just after we parted. Luke had been killed on the steep garden path which led from the house down the road. He'd been hit by a sniper, killed outright by a bullet through the heart within a couple yards of the place where Gregory was lying. Possibly Luke had been careless because he was still dazed, but he had to get back to his platoon, and the path was his only route. So they had been together, and they'd been hit by some kind of artillery in the house, and it rattled them. And then Luke had gone out to get back to his platoon, and when he left, he got shot by a sniper. Back to the book. This was how officers and NCOs were killed, just doing their routine job. This was why casualties among the leaders were so high. All the time that they were moving about, checking here, encouraging there, backwards and forwards. Now, besides myself and only the quartermaster sergeant Bauer and Sergeant Weiner were left. All the rest of the officers and sergeants in the company had gone. One problem, however, had been solved. The remnants of Tyler's 2 forward sections had managed to extricate themselves without waiting for orders. Since last night, Private Gregory had been in charge of one of the other sections, both the NCOs having been hit the day before. During that last mortar stonk, a bomb had fallen right on top of the corporal who was commanding the other section, blowing him and his Bren gunner half to pieces. Common sense had told the survivors to quit, and there had been no one to stop them except Gregory, who for the moment was shaken by the sight of what had happened to his friends, and who, in any case, lacked the authority to hold them there. No one else had been hit in the scramble back, and the survivors were now sheltering in the house.